Hi guys and girls, I just thought I'd do an update video on my MFT style workbench. I'm pleased to say it worked out this time. It was a bit of a failure last time, but yeah, it's pretty much nailed. I'll show you the matrix. So I don't know if you watched the last one. I made a rail to base with a rail that slides into the first cut. The top, well, the matrix board itself needs to be perfectly square, and then you just router the first recess, dado, and then you run along it, and then just keep going along, and then the same with the other side, just going down and along. But yeah, the last time the rail was wood, and I found that it ran out by about 5mm over half of this board, about 800mm. So I replaced it with a 20mm aluminium rail, and it really did the trick. So yeah, if you're going to try this, I would recommend getting the aluminium rail. One problem was it did stick a lot because the fit has to be tight for it to stay square. But I found a lot of squirts of WD-40 just helped it, push it along. The router bit I used was a 20mm, and it did kill it. It's not a bad quality bit. I got it from Wilden Tool, and they're really good quality for the price. They're better than eBay rubbish. But yeah, that one's pretty much blunt now after all of these holes. I did do it on the right speed. I'm pretty sure it was just slow enough to not burn most of them, but it needs to be fast enough to clear the chips, otherwise it just burns anyway. Yeah, so the base is initially without this piece. That just goes on perpendicular, and that slots into the groove, and that locates your holes. Yeah, pretty simple really, just done with scraps of birch ply and some hardwood because it flexes a bit less. The table itself I'm pretty pleased with. I don't know if you live in the UK, but we're pretty tight for space usually when we're working. I do a lot of cabinet making installs, and there's very rarely enough room. The room's very rarely empty. There's usually a lot of kit and other furniture in there, so space really is at a premium. But this table actually saves space because I can put all my tools underneath it, and then I've got some storage underneath to put my drills and that sort of stuff. And then the top, I can put my miter saw in it, and it still gives me a bit of room for sort of securing timber to work on. I do cut my boards on the floor on just some scrap boards, but there is the option of squaring the rail up to this as well with dogs, which I might do at some point. But I generally find that this work surface size is too small for cutting, because I'm usually cutting 2.4 lengths or 1.2 widths. So yeah, so the table itself made of poplar, really nice and light but strong enough, dominoed. There's just some nuts with some handles. Can't think what they're called at the moment. And so just some insert nuts all over this. And then there's a little piece of timber which helps locate this and keeps the front flush if I need to clamp anything up against it, and keeps the legs really secure. It's really secure actually, really steady. Got some little adjustable feet on the bottom because the floors where we work are very rarely flat, level. Yeah, so these nuts are just so I can secure some pieces in the future. I've got a few ideas about how to sort of clamp stuff, and how to hold if I need to trim a vertical piece, I can use these to hold it up at the right height and clamp it against the leg, so it's pretty useful. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Just pleased to say that that worked out in the end, because it was quite a lot of work. There's a lot of holes. Yeah, let us know if you need any info regarding making this or tips, and adios.